The past, the present, the future. This is Friday Night's Fright. What the planet is listening to.
Hello, and welcome back to Friday Night Fright ShudderMania 2019, yo! And today's episode focuses on The Guest, directed by Adam Wingard, and up 5 out of 5 on Shudder. Yay! 99 minutes long, 2014 year of release, and in English. David is the perfect guest, full stop. Friendly and hateful, comma. This young soldier arrives on the doorstep of the Peterson family, comma, claiming to be a good friend of their beloved son who died in action, full stop. The Petersons welcome David into their home and into their lives, comma, but when people start mysteriously dying in town, comma, their teenage daughter, Anna, starts wondering if David is responsible, full stop. Oh no! Cast: Dan Stevens of Downton Abbey fame, Sheila Kelly of some fame, I don't know, and Micah Monroe, who you may remember from It Follows. Good cast, and if I'm going to be honest, I've seen this movie before and I thought it was pretty good. But hey, ShudderMania, it's time to watch it again after a quick word from my sponsors. Right, so it's time to review The Guest, Stephen, and I loved it. Cue the fanfare, cue the trumpets, cue the shock of everyone out there in podcast land. Ian loved the movie. I really enjoyed it. Much more than I did first time I watched it a few years ago, actually. When I watched it back then, I was like, this is okay. You know, it's kind of okay. It's not bad. I was kind of ambivalent towards it. But rewatching it, I'm like, wow, that's a bit of a good movie. And I'll tell you why. After I do the provisional spoiler warning, because why would I possibly review a movie and not do complete spoilers? So if you don't want spoilers, stop listening now. Right, so I assume if you're still listening that you're okay with spoilers. I love this movie because this is pretty much what if Captain America went batshit insane. That's it. Because Dan Stevens in this movie had to have been cast because he looks eerily similar to, maybe not Chris Evans, well, kind of Chris Evans Captain America, but Captain America in general. He's got a very Captain America vibe to him, very Lantern Jaw of Justice and all that. And in the movie, he does quite a Steve Rogers pose at the start. Although you quickly start to see things going wrong. That's nothing I like about this movie. It's taking the idea of, oh, is this person who's come to stay with us, is this person all they seem? And it runs with it, because it does something interesting, which is add horror aesthetics to it. You get a lot of movies like Sleeping with the Enemy and Hand That Rock's Cradle and shit like that. And The Apartment, I guess, the later Meast one that came out not too long ago. But you get movies like that, and they're sort of interesting. They play up the idea of, oh, it's tense and all that. And this does that. It's very tense, very thriller-like, but with all horror aesthetic little touches that are fascinating. Down to Adam Wingard, of course. But it's a very strange movie because it's not a horror movie in the strictest sense, but the execution, the ideas is very horror movie-like. In that regard, it's got some vibes of Halloween 3, where it's taking some of the ideas and making them quite weird. Like, the music doesn't fit the movie at all, which works even better. It's kind of that Thor Ragnarok thing of, we're going to have music which doesn't work with the movie we're telling in a classical sense, but in the actual sense makes it much more entertaining. Very jaunty, very thrillery, vaguely John Carpenter from the 80s music. And it's very cool because everything about the font and layout of the movie screams horror movie, but the actual acting that doesn't at first. You get this eerie sense of tension as David worms his way into these people's lives with creating his backstory. And the slow amp up of tensions, you know, between him and teenage daughter. Is there any sexual chemistry, attraction there? And clearly there's a bit, which is kind of odd because he's her brother's replacement, basically, I guess. But then the movie really rackets it up because we get full super soldier mode. And indeed, in a horror movie, it's always fascinating to have a killer who's slightly beyond the pale. And this one, David, is definitely beyond pale. He's very much super soldier. And you get to see what's a Steve Rogers type person, how they'd interact in a way without supervillains or superheroes. Indeed, he's just generally batshit insane, although anyone tortured by Lance Reddick for long enough would probably turn out to be slightly batshit insane, even if he does have one of the greatest voices in the history of cinema. So generally, it's quite an interesting movie. They talk about in the description series of accidental deaths seen being Nectar's presence, but in the actual movie, there's nothing accidental about them. There's a few that happened off screen where we meant to wonder, was that him? But clearly it was. And also it marks the continuation, or not continuation, just came out before it follows, the move towards horror iconic status, I guess. Maybe down the line of Micah Monroe, who's a really good actress, very good at playing teenagers and snarky young women who are, although the description calls her a teenager, but she's not a teenager. She's 20 in this movie, I think, unless movie's lying to us, maybe description's lying. But she continues her run, or starts her run rather, of good performances in horror movies. Very capable actress, fantastic in It Follows, and very good here. And she's matched all the way by Dan Stevens, who's tour de force. If you know Dan Stevens, you know him from Downton Abbey, and this is definitely not Downton Abbey. This is not the up the manor born cat he usually plays. No, not even Beast from Beauty and Beast. This is Dan Stevens shredded as fuck. He's harsh. To quote Doug Nielsen, he's fucking harsh, man. Bit of Breakfast Club for you. No, Dan Stevens is harsh in this movie. He plays a very believable psychotic super soldier. Indeed, that's another one of the aspects which is quite cool about the movie. Normally they just have the soldiers killer, but they go explicitly down super soldier path, and I think this is one of the things the Wingard's quite good at. Maybe not in something like Blair Witch, but he's good at taking ideas and sort of horror movies and adding a little touch to them, a little bit of weirdness. Although obviously you need credit writers too. I think Wingard handles tone quite excellently here. Yeah, again, like I said, I love this movie. I thought shots, the music, composition, structure, the way you get jarring action sequences, the rise in tension, it's all fantastic. And the acting cross-board is very good, although Dan Stevens and Mike Monroe clearly standouts. Everyone's pretty good. The mother does a good job showing post-traumatic stress disorder. The son does a good job showing that sort of history of violence level, rebelling against system, embracing the teachings of someone who's prone to violence. Indeed, there's some parallels between this and history of violence, although not too many. Just enough, I'd say. So what's my favourite part of the movie? I'd say my favourite part of the movie is probably a sequence with the gun purchase, because it starts out innocuous and really calm and casual, and then just goes straight to crazy really quickly, including the scene where a super soldier, apparently they can make guns super, because the guy who pitched him the idea of being up for the gun sale is running away, and he's really far away, and despite, I know super soldiers have super reflexes, but that guy's way too far away from that bullet doing damage, but apparently killed him. I guess super soldier powers include reworking physics of guns. That's fair enough. And of course, what would a movie starring lonely teenage boy be about an ending in a Halloween festival, whereas Lawrence Reddit says, what the fuck, because the background doesn't make any sense to reality's characters living, makes perfect sense for a horror movie. Indeed, they go to a Halloween party and there's Hall of Mirrors, and there's lots of blood and violence and gore, and then it ends with the super soldier dying, quotation marks, because it's in the end he's not actually dead. Isn't that cool? So I've probably spoiled the whole movie for you, but you should watch it anyway. It's a very entertaining movie, very atmospheric and very good. Continues my theory, Adam Wingard is still one of the best horror movie directors out there, even if he's making a thriller tangibly. Although I think it's less a thriller and more he's trying to appeal to those people, so people who wouldn't normally watch horror movie, those arseholes, those fuckers, those losers, those toss pots, I guess you can say. And before I become liable, I am kidding, of course. No, I think lots of people do. They do want to watch, thrillers, but they don't like horror movies. They make the redundant connection between them. That, a thriller is classy and horror movies not. I'm like, embrace it. This is a horror movie with thriller aspects, but it's clearly a horror movie. No, you can't pick and choose what's horror movie. And indeed, I would not. I'd give this movie 4 stars out of 5. Say it's by far the best thing I've watched so far in ShudderMania. And Adam Wingard, very good director. But anyway, next time on ShudderMania, we are going to be watching Madman. Directed by Joe Giannoni. 3 out of 5 on Shudder. 88 minutes long, 98.2 in English. In this cult slasher classic, a maniacal killer named Madman Mars stalks a summer camp after a boy doesn't believe the urban legend screeched his name into woods full stop. What a arsehole. Now Psycho brutally murdered his family and escaped into woods is back, turning campers' summer vacation to their last days on ERT... Wow, I'm fucking stoked. I'll see you tomorrow for Madman. And remember, life is beautiful.